Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to King Spade channel. So the fourth job is finally available in the Taiwan server, and players actually can see all of the fourth job skill at the Switch job and PC. It not only lists out all of the available job class, but also all of the skill tree for the job class. And so that's what we are going to do in this video. We're going to look at the official fourth job skill. In this video, we are going to look at the Assassin fourth job, the Shadow Cross skill. Just like the other fourth job skill, the game had defined clearly the usage of the skills. At the left column, all of the skills can only be used by the Crator weapon. In the middle and the right side are for the dagger skill, passive skill, and the shad weapon skills. These two skill groups are for the dagger skill, but because this one is a chain of 3 skills, it then arranged as such so that it fit nicely in the skill interface. So let's look at the Crator weapon skill first. The first one, we have the Impact Crator skill. Now this skill is to be used together with the third job Spinning Blade skill. Why? Because it consumes all of the spin point stack of the Spinning Blade skill to be used. Each spin point will increase additional 20% damage. Now this skill for me is similar to the third job Spinning Cross Impact skill, because they both consume the spin point for extra damage. In fact, the Spinning Cross Impact skill is actually better than the Impact Crator skill, because for Spinning Cross Impact skill, it deals extra 60% damage with every spin point consumed. The Impact Crator only increased 20% damage. But I think why you want to use the Impact Crator skill is because of the effect that it has. It inflicts a Dark Clow status to the target, and which is also the third job passive skill that increases your crit damage up to 36%. Next is the Savage Impact skill. This is kind of a teleport skill. When used, you instantly blink to the target location and deal damage. This skill will also inflict the Dark Clow effect to the target. Next, we have the Shadow Clow. When the Crator weapon triggers the Dark Clow effect, the target will be attacked by the Shadow Clow, dealing damage to the target and all enemies within a 3-meter range around it. Next, Fatal Shadow Clow. This is also a teleport skill. Instantly move to the specified location and deal AoE damage to enemies within a 6-meter range and immobilize them for 3 seconds. For every stack of Dark Clow status on the target, the damage is increased by 85% up to 600%. Although this skill deals quite a lot of damage at 2200%, but you can actually use this skill as an escape skill to move away when you are attacked. Moving on to the dagger weapon skill. The first one, we have the Shadow Sands skill. This is a passive skill that increases flee rate. It also increases the spinning blade duration up to 3 seconds and also shorten the spinning blade damage interval up to 0.3 seconds. Why you want to extend the spinning blade duration? It's because of the next skill, the Dancing Knife. The Dancing Knife skill is similar to the Crator Impact Crator skill, but for the dagger weapon. It launches the blade and deals 1000% damage, which is higher than the Impact Crator skill at only 600%. But every spin point consumed only increase the damage by 10%. The Impact Crator skill increase the damage by 20%. So I suppose with the Shadow Sense passive skill, the spinning blade damage speed is supposedly faster, although not that much, only 0.3 seconds faster. The Dancing Knife also in theory is supposed to deal higher damage than the Impact Crator skill because it can stack the spinning point faster. Moving on to the other group of dagger skill, we have the Shadow Stab skill. Thrust forward a shadow dagger and deal damage to all enemies on the path. Next, Enchanting Shadow. This skill has 60% chance to summon a phantom behind the target to attack the enemy when using dagger to cast Brute Force / Spinning Cross Impact, Soul Destroyer, and Mirror Image skill. The phantom attack will inflict 1 stack of Shadow Wound effect to the target, which increases its damage for every Shadow Wound the target has. At 7 stacks, the Shadow Wound effect is removed and cannot be triggered for the next 15 seconds. Next, we have the Eternal Slash skill. This skill unleashes 7 attacks onto all enemies within 6 meters. After 7 slashes, it then deals an additional damage. The damage is increased more for each each stack of shadow wound the target has. So that are all of the dagger skill. The next 3 skills are the passive skills and defensive active skill that can be used by the dagger and the Crator weapon. The first one, we have the potent venom skill. When final physical penetration is greater than the final crit stat, each stack of poison on the target will lower its final physical defense by 14%. When final crit is greater than the final physical penetration stat, it then lowers the target crit damage reduction by 14%. When the poison stack duration ends, it deals extra poison damage on the target based on the number of stack it have. Next, we have the Shadow Exit skill. When using a dagger, increase final physical penetration by 17%. When using a Crator, increase final crit by 17%. The normal attack range is increased by 2 meters. And when attacking the enemy, automatically close the gap and dash towards the target. I mean, this will make the Shadow Cross, especially the Crator weapon user, to be very hard to catch in PvP. With the blink skills and this passive skill effect, you will be dashing constantly. Just need a skill that can make the Shadow Cross to be immune to damage while doing this dashing movement while attacking, and they will be very OP in PvP arena. And the last skill for the Shadow Cross, we have the weapon blocking skill. This is more of a defensive skill for the Shadow Cross rather than an offensive one. To use this skill, first you need to have the counter blade effect from the third job counter blade skill. When weapon blocking skill is used, it immediately cancels the counter blade effect and enters a defensive stance. During this period, you are immune to all damage except the damage from the MVP, mini and instance boss. After the charging period ends, you then deal damage to the surrounding targets. Right, that are all of the Shadow Cross skill. To be honest, there are more dagger skill than the Crator skill, and we can see clearly that the Crator skill for the Shadow Cross are more towards PvP with those dashes and blink skills to get in and get out of battle easily. As for the dagger skill, it is more for the PvE side of the game, stacking debuff after debuff to deal a lot of additional damage. I think the dagger user will be climbing the ladder to be one of the top DPS, especially for boss hunt. But I think the Shadow Cross gameplay in general is too complicated. It needs a lot of mechanical gameplay and understanding of the debuff stack on the enemy to unleash its fullest damage potential. But yeah, that is basically how the assassin should be played. And if it's too difficult, you can always go back to the Sonic Blow Crator build and double attack dagger build. Simple but yet effective build to do the objective in the game. Alright, let me know what you think of the Shadow Cross skill at the comment below. That's it for this video. This time video shoutout goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.